Hello and welcome to another episode of e-reading. My name is Elvin, and today I will be reading Rosie Revere, Engineer. Let's see what this book is all about. Rosie Revere, Engineer, by Andrea Beaty, illustrated by David Roberts. This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. There's little Rosie. But when no one saw her, she peeked in the trash for treasures to add to her engineer's stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in the hideaway under the eaves. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under the bed where they'd never be seen. Here's all the things that she made and invented and all the gadgets that she made. Here's some rockets. There's an owl there. There's a nice house. There's a monster from Where the Wild Things Are. When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, a hot dog dispenser and helium pants. There's a hot dog dispenser with an automatic mustard squeezer and helium pants. A bit of helium there. The uncle she loved most was Zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head. From parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps the pythons away. The cheddar cheese hat fan keeping the pythons away. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud, but Fred slapped his knee and chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. "I love it," Fred hooted. "Oh, truly I do." But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. She stuck the cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day kept her dreams to herself. And the pythons are laughing at her too. And that's how it went until one autumn day. Her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great-great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who'd worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. "The only thrill on my list is to fly. But time never lingers. As long as it seems, I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dreams." There she is, Rosie, riveting, building airplanes a long time ago. That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky, and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. She worked and she worked till the day was half gone, then hauled her cheese copter out onto the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. Here's her invention all wrapped out. She's pulling it very cleverly on skateboards and a scarf or rope that she tied. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The Hello Cheese Copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled round and round, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Here's her invention. cheesecopter. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned round to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, "Oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever, a switch, or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer." The old woman laughing. She turned round to leave, but then Great-Great-Aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close, and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. "You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next." Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. "I failed," said dear Rosie. "It's just made of trash. Didn't you see it? The cheesecopter crashed." "Yes," said her great aunt, "it crashed, that is true. But first, it did what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that, it flew." "Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy and on to the next." She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life must have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit. They worked till the sun sneaked away to its bed. Aunt Rose tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear, to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer. And they are building together. We can do it. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 build gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they all stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed Rosie Revere Engineer. This was a beautiful poem book. This was a gift to my daughter, and I love this book, how it teaches us that failure is just the first step towards success. That when we try something new and it doesn't work, it's okay. Don't give up. Don't let other people get you down. Don't let yourself get yourself down. Just keep trying, and you'll learn things on the way, and it will get better and better and better. So I hope you enjoyed this. If there's any other books you want to recommend that I read, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, that's it for this episode. Be gentle and kind to one another. Bye.